Duke and UNC Final Four matchup. First time in history meeting in the NCAA tournament. And it just so happens to be Coach K's last year. So this game's about to be crazy. A lot of people are calling it the biggest game in college basketball history. I would have to agree with it. Obviously, I'm biased. You know who I'm rocking with tonight. But I'm going to get into this matchup and different analysis and why I think Duke's going to win. And also just some of the key points to this game to determine which way it's going to go. So one of the first points I want to bring up, and I think that's been an absolute game changer for Duke into the tournament, finishing the last, honestly, 13 games of the season since February 15th, Jeremy Roach has been a completely different player. He's been absolutely incredible. His ball pressure, his ball handling, he's stepped up and made huge shots, and he's also just scoring at a much higher level. He's scoring in the last 13 games, he's scored in double figures 8 times. 3 times he's had 9 points. So damn near double figures 11 out of the last 15 games. He's also scored 19 points, 15 points twice, and 12 points, I think, 3 times. In the 18 games before that, he had only scored double figures 2 times. So he's been the X factor for Duke. I know a lot of people have talked about A.J. Griffin as he was hurt a lot of the season. He's come in. He's also been huge for us. But Jeremy Roach, to me, has been hands down the difference in this team, going from losing at home at Carolina to losing in the ACC championship against Virginia Tech. So that's another point I want to get into. Everyone's talking about how Carolina just beat us at home and, da-da-da-da-da. No one wants to talk about the fact we whopped them by 20 points earlier in the season. 20 points. So, yes, they beat us. We've also beat them. None of that matters going into tonight. What matters tonight is who's going to handle this pressure better, who's going to be the hotter team, who can make the adjustments. So, some of the big matchups, so I'm talking about Jeremy Roach, him and RJ Davis is going to be crucial. Him and Caleb Love, whoever he gets matched up on guard-wise, the guard play between Duke and UNC is going to be huge. When we just played them, UNC had, I think, 4 different guys score 20 points. 2 of them were RJ Davis and Caleb Love. We have to do a better job of slowing these guys down and containing them, especially on the perimeter. There was way too many wide-open threes last game. The defense was lackluster. The energy was lackluster. And I think it was a huge moment for Duke and for these freshmen to have all that kind of pressure on them. And yeah, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, they have a lot of pressure tonight, and they do. But they've seemed to handle this pressure differently. I think maybe now they're looking at it as an opportunity rather than pressure. So another matchup I think is going to be absolutely huge is Mark Williams and Armando Bacot. The first time we played them, when we beat them by 20, we got Bacot into foul trouble early, and he really didn't do shit. He didn't have much of a game at all. I don't remember what he ended up scoring, maybe 7, 9, 11, something like that. Mark Williams has had big games, both games. He needs to be an absolute force on the defensive glass, just on the defensive end of the floor, period. We also need, maybe at least 10 points from him. But that's going to be a very big matchup. Can Mark Williams... The second time when they beat us, Bacot tore it up. He had 23 points. He was an absolute problem. We didn't have a ton of an answer because of the fact that UNC was doing so well from the perimeter. When they got it inside, we couldn't really help off, and it just became a problem. So I think those two are going to be really huge. Obviously, every matchup in this game is going to be big. Another one I'm really interested is the Banchero-Brady Manek matchup, because Brady Manek's had 2 great games against Duke, and he just hits every freaking 3 that he shoots just about, especially if we leave him wide open, which we've done way too many times. So we have to get out on the perimeter. We have to close out. We got to get a hand in his face. Him and Paulo match up pretty well. Manek's 6'9", Banchero's 6'10". Obviously, Banchero's more athletic. He needs to get out, put pressure on him, not allow him. If he's going to shoot a 3, it needs to be contested, period. And then the last matchup that I've seen pretty much everyone talking about on ESPN, CBS, whatever it may be, is the AJ Griffin Leaky Black matchup. Because the first game, AJ Griffin went crazy. He had like 29 points or some shit. The second game, he only had 5 points, I think it was. 5 points, like 3 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, was basically disappeared. And Leaky Black guarded him in the second game. He's 6'9", he's long. He's a very good defender. But I expect AJ Griffin to have a big game. I expect him to at least give us 10 to 15 points. I don't see him having another game like that. I don't give a shit if Michael Jordan comes out and guards him. He's going to put up numbers, period. Some of the other X factors for Duke is going to be Wendell Moore and Trevor Keels. You know, Moore's been consistent all year long, but there's also games where he just, you know, he's always going to have the great, you know, rebounding, the defensive play, the leadership, but sometimes he doesn't put the ball in the hoop, and we need him scoring points. I need at least 10, maybe 15 from him. Keels has been very streaky. You know, against Gonzaga earlier this year, he went crazy and had, I don't remember what it was. It was 20-something points. So he has that big game, big-time potential, but some games he just disappears. And I think he settles way too often for threes because he is a good shooter, and he's much more effective when he uses that big frame, drives, gets to the basket, gets easy layups, gets fouls, kind of gets going that way. I've noticed when he's, you know, starts out shooting threes, if the first 1 or 2 doesn't go down, he seems to lose confidence and kind of drift away. So these are all going to be huge tonight in the game. All matchups I'm really interested in seeing. So to break it down, perimeter defense is going to be absolutely crucial for Duke. Can they get out? Can they stop allowing UNC threes? Can we get rebounds on the defensive end and not allow them a bunch of second point shots? Can we slow down their guard play? I don't think they're going to beat us inside. I think if they're going to beat us, it's going to be on the perimeter. It's going to be RJ Davis. It's going to be Caleb Love, and it's going to be Brady Manick. I think those are the guys we really need to lock in on. And then finally, just how are these teams going to handle this pressure? Each team has a massive amount of pressure on it. Obviously, Duke, you can't lose to Carolina twice and end Coach K's career on a loss to Carolina. You know, Carolina's obviously wants to ruin Coach K's night, wants to ruin Duke's night. Both teams want to get to a national championship. I mean, that's what we're here for. This is a Final Four. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out and just plays more loose and has a nice flow and can just kind of shake off those butterflies and get into the game, not be too much in their head. And I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, the question being, will this tarnish Coach K's legacy if he loses? And the answer is absolutely not. No way. That's ridiculous. Will it suck? Will it hurt? Will it be a bitter taste in your mouth? Will it be a bad way to go out? Yes, absolutely. Undeniably, it will. But you can't tarnish this man's legacy on 1-2 losses even. 5 national championships, 3 gold medals, 13 Final Fours, a Final Four in his last year. I mean, 1,200 wins. We can go on and on. The man's legacy is cemented. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense about his legacy being tarnished. Absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah, looking forward to the game tonight. It's going to be crazy. Drop your predictions down low, any comments, talk shit, have fun, whatever. It's Will Blast, Will's World.